Hey, everybody. I don't know if you heard that or not. Didn't mean to do that. But it's a little spoiler. There is a new theme song that's going to be coming out with the next episode. I might have left it unmuted. I don't know. I think maybe they both played. That's probably cool for you guys to hear. Really cool on your ears. Obviously, my name's Seth. Dave is not here tonight. He is with his band filming a music video, which is really cool. So, you know, good luck to him and all that stuff. Uh, but today it's just me. If you want to support the show, please head over to w.gg. Use the promo code ClearShots. That's all one word. And that'll get you 10% off, and that helps us. It's a good energy drink. It's a good alternative, and sometimes people spend too much money on energy drinks. So just be aware of that. It's a good alternative, I think. All right, so let's let's get into this a little bit. Um, first of all, like I wanted to mention that we have a lot of audio things going on. We're tweaking our audio in the studio in a number of different ways. So if things sound different, if they sound like, I don't know, more compressed or whatever, just be aware that we're working on that whole thing across the board with all the shows. So it could be a little quiet. I don't know. We're just trying to change our whole sound thing. And again, we got a new theme song. You're basically hearing it before and after the stream as of right now. So yeah. Look, I watched Grand Slam. I thought that was pretty. I thought it was a good show. AEW always does a good show with good job with their big shows, and so you got to think like going into it. You always go like, "Oh, this is gonna be. It should be good." You always have high expectations with their shows, and I thought it was great. Some people, I think the first match was Moxley and Takeshita. The time limit thing is weird, right? Um, AEW has a lot of matches where there is a time limit, and sometimes you have to, because of the fact that there's a time limit, you have to go to the end of the match. Sometimes it has to end in a draw, unfortunately. And I think that's the reality, though. I think it actually does have to happen. I know people don't love it, but what's the point of having a time limit if it's never going to come up? You know what I mean? So it does go to a draw. The match does go to a draw. And the way I look at it is like it's not no one wins, right? It's more of a the whoever's competing for the title or whatever loses. So that's the way you got to kind of look at these things. It's again, I think some people are irritated with that kind of stuff, but you got to I don't know. I think if I like the urgency it kind of gives to the end of the match, and I don't want to necessarily criticize it too bad because it's something WWE doesn't do, these timed matches. Obviously, in certain scenarios they do, but you know, it's not a commonplace thing for them to do this. And I think it adds an extra dimension. I really do. Um, then you had Hangman Page and Andrade. That was actually a really good match. Um, and so Hangman wins and gets his title shot. I don't think that Hangman will get the title back. Honestly, I've been more impressed with like Swerve Strickland lately. I didn't watch all of Dynamite from last night, but I thought he cut a great promo, and he's just been so consistent. So I think Swerve might be, next in line to really like get the, have the belt in some sense, whether it's long or not. MJF and Swerve, that'd be fantastic. So you got Kyle Fletcher, who beats Mark Briscoe in a ladder match for the Continental title. Good match. Really good ladder match. And I don't know, man. You don't see a lot of these hard hitting ladder matches. The last one I really remember, there was one on Raw. It was like right after WrestleMania. And the other one that I could think of recently would be, I believe it was a ladder match. It would have been Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens at Crown Jewel. And I think that was like a year ago or something like that. That was a great ladder match too. But when you have AEW doing these shows and they're allowed to do more things, I think ladder matches are more compelling because you're allowing your talent to take more risks and you're allowing them to be more creative. I think it's kind of a lost art in WWE, especially with hardcore matches. There's not a lot of hardcore matches at all in WWE, so you got to think of it that way. But yeah, when you do a ladder match, you kind of have to do it right, and there has to be a purpose for everything too. I feel like sometimes ladder matches just exist and there's a ladder there. They just it just happens to be like the stipulation. You want to have spots that are creative and memorable, you know? That's the reason Jeff Hardy was so great in all those ladder matches, and Edge and Christian and all those guys. Yeah, so then you had MJF and Brody King. Pretty good match. I'm a huge fan of MJF. I think he's great. Brody King's fine. You know, I know there's a lot of people that are behind him that like him. He's fine. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say he's bad, but I just don't see him as like a title guy. But I think a lot of people would like to see him in the title picture. I just think there's a lot more guys in AEW that just seem more appropriate than Brody King does. But we'll see. We'll see what way they want to go with all that stuff. But so obviously with MJF winning that, you're going to have MJF versus Hangman at what's the next pay-per-view? Revolution. So that'll be good. It'll be really good. And I think that's the best matchup, honestly. MJF and Hangman. Probably the smartest move that they could do at this time, I think. But yeah, so again, I haven't watched all of Dynamite from this week. I watched the first like 2 matches. I'll tell you, and I'll repeat it a million times, Dynamite and just AEW in general, the matches are just so much better. The pacing is so much better. Everything about the show is better. And I'm not even afraid to say that anymore. Like, people criticize AEW, but they don't watch it. And I think that's a real issue. And it's honestly, most of the time, it's just WWE fans, which I'm a WWE fan. I like WWE. I've always watched WWE. But when the product isn't good, you gotta say that it's not good. You have to admit that it's not good, right? You can't just like go around and be like defend it. I think people are way too it is tribalism, right? People just defend the thing that they watch because they want to be right about it for whatever reason. But the reality is AEW is putting on great shows. So you have to come back down to reality and say, hey, they're doing a great job. WWE's not. And just, face the fact. I know there's things that people didn't like about AEW. Maybe they're still there. Maybe they're not. But, give it a try again. Why not watch it again? So with that being said, when I was watching Raw, dude, I was just like, I was honestly like completely blown away because not at how good it was. And that's how I should be feeling. It's just blown away by how good it was. I was blown away by the fact that I'm an hour plus into the show and nothing has happened. I mean, literally nothing has happened. I mean, I wouldn't say literally nothing has happened, but anything that did happen, we already knew was going to happen. Or it was just a, scene of, whatever. So here's what I'm going to do real quick. I'm going to pull up this little window here next to me. This is my monitor stream, which you don't really need to see. This is Monday Night Raw. Okay. So let's we're gonna pause it, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna scroll through. We're gonna go bit by bit here. just break down what's happening. You got Michael Cole and Corey Graves in the ring. You got Gunther interrupting. Okay, whatever. That's fine. This segment was just not really much of anything. It was okay. Then you got Cody Rhodes comes out. Just another like nothing promo. Another thing we've seen a million times, right? Vision comes out, interrupts them, say a bunch of words. Jimmy Uso, you got to have the whole yeet thing. That happens for, obviously minutes on end. His entrances, look how long this is. I mean, come on, I'm scrolling through this thing. He's still really just coming into the ring. Another criticism I had was every single time when you're watching Raw, when they go to a commercial, it's a little commercial here, a little ad, and then when they come back from the ad break, there's another little promo commercial, right? And that's fine, I guess, but just you don't have to do it on every break. When you're watching Raw, I couldn't even imagine watching this live. I couldn't even. I don't get it. I was watching. I have Netflix, like the standard version, like the regular whatever tier, and it's got ads. So I felt like I was watching ads for the entire hour plus, like the beginning of Raw, and barely any action. So far, you've had really nothing happen. No matches have happened. It's all been promos. Then you got Americano comes out. This is this is the match. It's a triple threat. Bronson Reed gets injured during this match. I don't know if he was planned to win this thing or not, but Jey Uso gets the pin at the end of this. So that's basically the entire match. It was a very average match. It wasn't really anything impressive. Then you got, another backstage segment. For some reason, you have a NASCAR driver show up with CM Punk, which none of this really made any sense to me because, okay, cool. Like, it's another celebrity appearance. Big deal. You got that. Then you have a Dom and Liv. This one's hilarious because they literally just had Stephanie Vaquer and Jade Cargill come out into the ring. And what was the point of this? Like, they already had this backstage promo with Dom and Liv and Stephanie. You already understood that the match was going to be Liv versus Stephanie. Like, it was pretty much served up to you on a platter. They have Jade Cargill fly to wherever this show was. Where was it? I don't know where they did it. They have her fly in to come into the ring, wait for Liv to cut her like 5-second promo, and then Liv hits Stephanie Vaquer and saying like, "Oh yeah, I choose her," and it's like, we already knew that. Why did you make Jade show up at all? This was totally pointless. It was just so irritating because I'm 48 minutes into the episode and I felt like nothing happened. So let's go back. We got to go to the next part here. Then we got Javon Evans, little segment here, which he's great, dude. He was actually the highlight of Monday Night Raw. Then you have more of these stupid things telling you when the shows are, and like we don't need to. Who watches any of this shit? Like the only people that the only thing we want to see is Elimination Chamber. When is that? Well, most of us know already. Okay, and it's fine to promote it, but every single break is crazy. Then you have Natty and Maxine Dupree again. Okay, so that's another one of those. This match was hilarious because she just runs into the ring post. She's out cold, and then that's the end of the match. So you're like, okay, cool. Still nothing's happened. Now you're almost an hour into the show. More than an hour if you're watching live, for sure. Easily. Then you got another fly over the city segment here. Another AJ Styles thing, which is fine. I know they're doing the AJ Styles retirement thing. Then you got her, she gets knocked out by going into the ring post. This is so stupid. Another Judgment Day promo teasing more Finn Balor and Dom feud type shit, which is for some reason still not happening, which I don't understand that. They're dragging that way out. Lesnar is going to show up at some point. Trick Williams is fantastic, dude. You can't really stop watching when Trick Williams is on. Then they show like several different rappers. It's like, okay, I know people complain about this kind of stuff. It's annoying. It eats up time. No one really cares who's at the thing. Just people don't care. You know, who's looking at that going, oh my God, it's 2 Chainz, you know? And then what was the other one? They had Offset show up during some of this show. This is kind of cool. I actually don't mind this matchup between these two. But what is going on with the box? We got to figure out what's going on with the box, because who's in the box or what's in the box. It's odd to me that they still want to do these teaser box things, because it almost never works out for them. It almost never does, because you're building up like this hype and all this speculation, and then when the box opens, it's like it's going to be like, I don't know, the Prime bottle or some shit, and you're just like, or it's like WWE 2K25 like premium edition or some shit, and you're just like, why are you even building any of this shit up? Unless it's Chris Jericho or something, like, I just don't care. Like, unless it's like a debut, if it's like Danhausen or something, then it matters. Then you got Brock Lesnar who shows up, which again, like, this is kind of a nothing promo. They're just like, it's just Paul Heyman hyping him up, going, Brock Lesnar's a beast, check him out. And then you're just, okay, all right. And then he walks off, and you're like, that was the segment? Okay. So then you got Javon Evans and Offset absolutely for no reason. Another WrestleMania promo. This is Raw, dude. Think about the people that have been there live. They've seen like, what, 2 matches now? I mean, that's insane. You've probably seen a dark match, right? A couple matches before. But this has to be, and think about how much money they're paying too to go to Monday Night Raw. Look at ticket prices. It's insane. This is what the episode's going to be. Sorry. I'm going to rant about Monday Night Raw because it's just been awful. Like, what are we doing? This is a go-home show for the pay-per-view, for Elimination Chamber. Correct? Isn't Elimination Chamber this weekend? I mean, this is a go-home show for Elimination Chamber. So, I mean, what? How is it not better? How is it not better? Then you got New Day, which I like seeing New Day. Like, it's good to see them anytime they can get a chance to. And then you got, like, what? Like, you're showing promos for podcasts and shit. It's just all filler. This was a good match, I will say. Kofi and Javon. Those two are fantastic. Javon was literally the highlight of the entire episode. And that's not deniable, honestly. So that's the whole thing. Then you have a little Abyss segment, which was kind of funny, I guess. Let's go back. We'll go into the next one. I mean, dude. So let's review real quick. Oh, now we're showing Dwight Howard. Let's review real quick. So we've seen 2 matches. One had an injury, which is, you know, you can't really avoid that. That's just a happenstance thing. The second one was scripted to end early to a fake injury. So that was not very long either. The first one had some length to it. Then you had a couple other matches, decent matches, nothing crazy, right? Nothing like a big deal. There's not even a main event on this show. Like, I just don't understand. Who is watching this? Then you had this Punk promo that's like just fine. You know what I mean? None of this was really good. It was just like a what if promo. Another, you know, filler shot here. Io Sky's fantastic. She's always great. Kairi Sane's really good too. This was a decent match. It was fine. Again. Skip all the way through it. Raquel has been fantastic lately. Good for her. Then you have AJ Styles. And that was the entire thing. That was the entire thing. Just basically a retirement speech. And then Undertaker shows up to put him in the Hall of Fame, which is great. So congratulations to AJ Styles. He deserves that, dude. He definitely deserves it. AJ's just been fantastic for so long. And yeah, man. He totally deserves it. And it's really cool that, like, so that's going to be the thing, I guess, now is Undertaker's just going to be the guy who comes out when someone gets into the Hall of Fame. Which it works because it has the you kind of get a crowd pop anyway from the bell, but eventually when he does this a number of times, everyone's just going to understand that he's there to put you in the Hall of Fame, you know? Which, again, I think that's cool. I do think it's cool. It gives Undertaker a reason to be on TV. And the bell already has like there's a recognizability to it. So now you just kind of change the definition of it to you're in the Hall of Fame. That's really cool. I think it's a really smart move for a number of reasons, but I'm not going to sit here for a long time. I just wanted to get an episode in because, with Dave not being here, we still had to get something out at least. I've only been doing a half hour, but I really just wanted to rant about Raw because it was just hard to watch, and it's a shame because when you see a go home segment like that or a go home show that is a slog to get through, that's a problem, dude. And I don't know, dude. It's just it really is bothersome because I think the product can be better. And it just is irritating to see it that way. I also watched the Vince McMahon body cam footage. He was like flying in his Bentley or whatever. And I don't know, he says he's not, I only watched the body cam, like for the police body cam that was released. He's like, yeah, I wasn't on my phone or whatever. Like, I don't know if he was drunk or what, but it didn't seem like they gave him a sobriety test or anything like that. It was kind of weird. But he was going super fast. He's like, no, I wasn't fleeing. All he said was, no, I didn't do anything wrong, basically. And the cops were like, okay, you're good to go. It was like, it just felt weird. But it's like, I don't know. How old is he? But at a certain point, you still have to understand you're going over 100 miles an hour and you are like, you're swerving at the last second to not hit somebody. That's so crazy. But it's Vince McMahon. And then, of course, somebody like realizes it's Vince and, somebody said something probably. But I thought it was interesting that his whole excuse was like, I don't drive this car very often. It's faster than I thought it was. And you're like, okay, dude, that's not a real thing. You can't just do that. It doesn't work that way. You can't just say that. So yeah, that was another thing that I watched over the last couple of weeks. But yeah, again, dude, Raw is just it's really dragging. And that's their flagship show. Like, I've barely watched SmackDown. I can't imagine it's much better. You're watching Raw and you're like, and it's, if you're watching it live, dude, it would have taken like an hour and a half before you saw anything like significant. And I just don't, I'm glad that it's on Netflix so I can just like fast forward through half of the shit because, dude, like, I just don't care what rappers are in the crowd. I don't care that Dwight Howard's there. I just don't care. And I don't care about all your little promos, like before and after. Your little, overlay screens. Hey, Eliminations Chambers this week. Hey, check out these 3 podcasts or whatever. It's like, stop advertising to me. All you're doing is advertising. The whole show is advertising. It's really irritating, dude. So that was my Monday Night Raw rant. And I think that's it, man. I'm not gonna go too crazy. We'll be back in 2 weeks with Dave. Dave should be here. But yeah, dude, I just wanted to come on and get a show out. And again, we got a new theme song coming next week, which I might have played you I might have accidentally played both theme songs. Might have done that because I was screwing around with all of it. But you'll hear an acoustic version of the new theme song at the end of the stream. So that'll be right about now. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Check out burninghammerwrestling.com. You can see all the schedule and stuff like that. And buy some merch on the store. All right, everybody. Peace out.